What's up, everyone? Thanks for coming back to this Road to Silver series. We're currently sitting at Bronze 3, and today I want us to get up to Bronze 2. For this video, I'll be switching things up and using a new Amber Steel Shift Bodyguard deck I built. I just put up the video for the finalized deck guide yesterday, so make sure you check that out. The matches in this video use a few different iterations of that deck, but it's mostly the same as what's in the guide video. The link for that video is down in the description. Before we get started, don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe if you're not already. It really does help out the channel. Let's get into some matches and see if we can get closer to that beautiful silver rank. Alright, got a lot of cards we need to mulligan right off the bat here. Any of these more expensive cards. We don't need this match right away either, so we'll just hope we can get much better opening hand now. Don't like these uninkable ones, but we will make do with them. Let's ink our Stitch to start with, and let's get a Captain Hook out here. So inking the Stitch is, it can be good, can be bad. We didn't need it right now, but we also want it later to shift into the bigger Stitch, so we have to hope that we draw another one, or we just have the ink to play the bigger Stitch. We're not going to need this Bodyguard for quite a while, so we will do that. So play Simba. We don't need him as a bodyguard, so we won't exert him. And we'll quest with Captain Hook for 1. And if they quest with a Lilo, hopefully we can take her out. Let's hope they don't get a bodyguard on turn 2. And if we have to, we have 2 copies of Fire the Cannons in our hand to take out a bodyguard that they may play, if it's not a powerful one. Hopefully we can get out our Musketeer Tabard on turn 4. And then we can start drawing cards when they take out our bodyguards. Alright, the Flynn is something we probably want to take out with Fire the Cannons. For now, we're going to have to ink the Rapunzel because we don't have anything else. So I think we will Fire the Cannons on the Flynn. I don't want them to be questing for 2 lore. And we're going to use Captain Hook to take out the Lilo. And we will quest the Simba. So now we've got another Fire the Cannons we can use, and we've got Hades. We can get him out if they take out one of our characters and we decide we want them back. But I'm not too worried about either of these characters. Alright, we could use the other bodyguard, but I would rather have the ink. So we'll do that. Quest both of these. And we'll get our Musketeer Tabard out, just in case they take out our bodyguard, we can get that card draw. This item has been really great with this deck. I really enjoyed having it. The card draw has been awesome. And we can also play the Hades to take out one of them if they do take it out. So we'll get the card draw, we'll get the Hades, and we'll get the character back. Alright, we're shifting the Stitch. Okay, now we gotta take that Stitch out for sure. Definitely can't let them get that early advantage with the 3 lore and the card draw that he gives. So I think we may sacrifice the Captain Hook to take out the Stitch and Fire the Cannons. We'll see what they do. Captain Hook will do 3 damage to him. Fire the Cannons will finish him off. Okay, they're going to return the Bodyguard to my hand. Yep, they just want to be able to take out the Captain Hook. Alright, that was a good play on their part. Let's see. Got 4. I think I really just want to get this Stitch off the board. I'll waste all my ink doing it, but I need him gone. I don't want them getting any kind of advantage. They've only got 1 card in their hand, so they're kind of at our mercy right now. Let's pass this turn. We can probably play the Hades on the next turn and get our Captain Hook back. I'm not too worried about the Cruella. She's only questing for 1. Again, they only have 1 card in their hand. They're not going to have any kind of removal with their deck, so we don't have to be too concerned. Okay, let's, yeah, we don't have a lot of good options right now, so let's play the Hades. Let's get the Captain Hook back. Ink the Captain Hook, because I want to get the Bodyguard out again, so we can still get that card draw. We'll pass. We could play the big Tinkerbell on the next turn. Don't think I want to. Let's see what they do. I think I'd rather wait a few more turns to get the Tinkerbell out. I also don't want to ink our Bodyguard if we don't have to. The Hades will be able to take out the Cruella. Well, they have the Bodyguard, so he can't take out the Bodyguard. Not a huge deal, though. They're each of them only quests for 1 lore. And they just ink their other card. Yeah, they don't have an advantage right now. They could very quickly get one if we're not careful, but we will see what happens. Okay, we got Lilo on our draw. She's good because she gives us 2 lore. So I still want this Bodyguard out here, though. I think I want to get the Bodyguard out here. And we're not going to exert him yet. Got 3 left, so let's get out our Lilo as well. I think we're going to pass this turn. Okay, they got the Stitch now. So now we definitely need to start taking out some of their characters. They're going to get lore really quickly if we don't. We're going to have to play the Tinkerbell on this next turn, assuming we have the ink to do so. Okay, we do. So let's get the Tinkerbell out here. Really wish we could have shifted her so it was less expensive, but that's what we had to do. So in order to minimize the characters that we lose, I think I'm going to take out the Bodyguard with Lilo, because she does 4, and he's already at 1 damage. Okay. I don't think Lilo had Bodyguard, did she? No, we just got a free card draw. Okay, you know what? I'm not going to complain. Bug in the game. Someone should take note of that, though. We use our Simba to take out the Cruella. He'll go back to our hand, unfortunately. But at least we don't lose him. And we can play him again on the next turn if we need to. And I'm going to quest the Hades for 1, because if they decide to take him out with the Stitch, that'll just be 3 more damage on the Stitch, and we can take out Hades next turn. Oh, they didn't, Simba didn't go back to my hand. I got a Tinkerbell, and oh, they get to choose. They get to choose which card goes back. It was a good choice for them to return the Tinkerbell to my hand, but obviously we can play it again on this next turn and just do 1 more damage to all of their characters. So maybe not the best choice. You probably want to return something that isn't going to do direct damage when it gets played. Also, you probably want to get rid of the Bodyguard so you can take out the other characters. I think we're probably playing with a pretty amateur player right now. Or maybe they're just not getting the cards they want. They're just not making great choices. I'm not sure. But they are at 10. They're going to get another 8 this turn, so obviously we have to do something about that. Play the Tinkerbell, take out some of their characters at least. And we're going to take out the Stitch, of course, because he needs to be gone. And they're only getting +3 next turn. I think we're going to waste our Bodyguard. And let's take out the Wolfoo with him. That way, if they decide to attack him with a Stitch, then we'll get the card draw. We could have taken out the Stitch and gotten the card draw ourselves, but you know, why do that anyway? They'll either take him out or they won't. And if they do quest him, we can take him out with the Tinkerbell and do some damage to the Mad Hatter, but they're not going to. They may be waiting to get more characters in hand and just overwhelm us. So let's go ahead and play this other big Tinkerbell. That way we can get the Stitch taken out, put some damage on the Mad Hatter. And I wish we would play the Lantern right now. Instead, I think we're just going to quest. Next turn we can get both of these out, the small Tinkerbell and the Lantern. We won't be able to use the small Tinkerbell's card draw ability because we don't have that many cards in our hand, but she is there. We can use Grab Your Sword to deal 2 damage to each of them if we wanted. Let's see, they'll get to draw a card if we take them out with the Tinkerbell, but I think we're going to need to. I don't want them having that card draw, but we have to keep their characters out. Otherwise, they're going to get ahead of us. And we'll do 2 damage to the Cheshire Cat. Next turn, I think we'll do Grab Your Sword. For now, let's get all these characters out. And let's quest these for another 3. We're at 11. We're doing okay. They've got 3 cards in hand now. A little dangerous at this point in the game. But I think with our 2 big Tinkerbells, we can probably handle anything they put on the board. And we're going to be questing for 6 if we don't attack. We probably will attack, but we could potentially get 6. Okay, there's another Stitch. They've got, what, 2 of those Stitches in the banished zone, so they're running out pretty quickly. They will be able to get another 3 next turn no matter what, which isn't great. So we really need grab your sword right here. Take out the Cheshire Cat. Oh, and they conceded. All right. That's good for us. Okay, I think if we win this next match, we may be able to go up to rank 2 because I've been on a pretty good winning streak. But because I've been on a winning streak, that means that this is the game that I'm going to lose. So let's all watch along as we lose this one. But let's hope that we don't. Okay, we're going to ink our high cost cards, of course, and uninkable ones. I think I'm okay with the rest of these cards. And we got some more high cost ones, but we've got plenty of low cost cards that we can work with. I think I want to ink our big bodyguard right now. We don't need him for several turns. Hopefully we can draw another one before then. We have plenty of other cards we can play. And we also don't have our musketeer item that gives us card draw when the bodyguard gets banished, so he's not helpful right now anyway. Let's ink. I can't decide between these two. They have pros and cons. So I think we're actually going to ink the Tinkerbell. If we get the big Tinkerbell and we can't play her soon, that's unfortunate, but that's what we're doing at this point. So we can quest the Captain Hook for 1. The Olaf can't take him out immediately. We can get our bodyguard out on the next turn instead of the Lilo and protect our 2 lore character. We just have to hope they don't get a whole lot of card draw with this deck. They've already got high lore characters with the green. Okay, they can take him out immediately. Knew that was, a possibility, but we always hope it doesn't happen. I think we are going to ink the Lilo. And we're going to get out our bodyguard. We're also going to get out a Stitch so we can shift him on the next turn. And we'll quest for 2. And pass. So of course they can take out our bodyguard with these 2 characters, or they may have something else in their hand to do so. They don't have direct damage with the Amethyst Emerald deck, but they can return characters to our hands. They can exert them. The exertion is probably the most annoying because then we have no control over our characters. And we can obviously use Smash on one of these. I don't think we need to right now. We may ink it next turn so we can get out the Stitch Rockstar and start questing for a lot. And then maybe we'll get another bodyguard to protect him. Okay, turn the Simba to our hand. They were taking a long time, and the timer was counting down. I'm not sure what was going on. Maybe they didn't do a lot of the plays they wanted to do since they ran out of time. So, yeah, I don't think we'll be able to shift Stitch. Actually, I think, well, we could, and they won't be able to take him out. He'll take some damage. But, yeah, I think we will. I want to get that early lead. Might not be the smartest thing to do, but we'll at least be at 8. And these 2 characters can't take him out on their own. So if he can just survive this turn, we can get our bodyguard out and protect him a little bit better. The Hans dealing 3 damage. And of course, questing for 3 lore. We ideally want to get him out of here. But we are ahead, so it may be okay to not do that. Let's get our lantern out, and let's get our bodyguard out. And he's already going to be exerted, so I guess it didn't let us draw a card because we did that. Mistake. We'll remember that for next time, though. Pass. The Hans can take out the Simba, of course, but these 2 still won't be able to take out the Stitch at once. We're doing pretty well here. Wish we hadn't missed that card draw. Could have used it potentially, but it's fine. We got a healthy lead right now. Okay, now they can take out the Stitch with all of their characters. But they did lose 2, so they don't have a great advantage either at this point. And what do you know? We got Hades here so we can get our big Stitch back. And honestly, I think I'm going to quest the LeFou for 2 because it's going to waste one of their characters taking him out on the next turn. We could have taken out the Hans, of course, but why do that when they can take him out for us? Alright, the Kuzco presents another challenge. Again, we're still doing well. And of course, the Olaf didn't take out the LeFou. That was a choice they made. Let's see. I think we have to get the Stitch out. Oh, we don't have enough is the problem because we didn't shift him. We will have to play this one. And I mean, as long as we're questing, they have to waste a turn taking out our characters. So I think we're okay to just keep questing. Because they will have to take out, we're only generating 4, so they're going to take him out, of course. It's going to take out the Olaf. And, okay, good play. Of course, they can only quest for 3 this turn, so we're still doing okay. We can get up to 19 next turn, hopefully. We could also just take out the Kuzco just to be safe. I think, yeah, they're going to get +8. If we don't, of course they won't because they're going to have to take out the Captain Hook. I do think we're going to ink the Simba though, and we're going to get out our Stitch again. So we can take out one of their characters, but again, we can just make them do it for us. Now the real danger is them playing something that returns Stitch to our hand, and then they take out the Captain Hook. If they don't do something like that, then we should be okay. We only need one of these characters to survive this turn to win. And this is even being a little ink-starved in this game. It's one of those 2 cards going to help them win this game. Alright, I'm okay with that because we lost the Kuzco and we did not lose the Captain Hook. Yeah, they're taking out other... Alright, we're doing fine. Yeah, returning him to the hand, that's okay. We still have plenty of time. And we will, of course, play him again. Really, the only thing they can do is to constantly return him to our hand until we draw something else. So as long as they don't get a lot of lore before then, we'll be okay. There's another one. Alright, so they're going to get 6 next turn, so I think that might cause us to lose it, unfortunately. Because even the Tinkerbell won't be able to take out anything. Yeah. Alright. Told you we were going to lose this one. They came from behind, barely, and made it happen by returning it to our hands. And it's really unfortunate to see. You know, it's just how it happens sometimes. Alright, let's see if we can come back from the loss on the last match. Get a little bit closer to 2. Really terrible losing right at the end. Was really hoping it wouldn't happen. They really did the only thing they could do with that deck to keep us from winning. Let's get rid of all these. It's gonna take a while. And we could have kept the big Stitch actually because we have 2 of the smaller ones in our hand, but I think it's okay. I think we're gonna ink the Musketeer. Play one of our Stitches. Next turn, we'll either get the Bodyguard or the LeFou out. Stitch. Hopefully before we hit enough ink to be able to shift Stitch, we'll get another one. I'm not too worried about it though. Let's see, this turn I think we're gonna put the Captain Hook in here. We don't need him even though we have the one we can shift into. Let's get a LeFou out here. Let's quest the Stitch for 1. They can obviously attack us with their grandma and get her into the inkwell. I'm okay with that. We're not gonna attack her on our turn and take her out for them though. Okay. We got plenty of bodyguards. We can afford to ink one of them. And let's get out this bodyguard. A little bit stronger. Quest for 3. We have to get as much lore as we can before they build up to their 10 ink to get their bell out. So we just have to keep up the pressure, keep questing as much as we possibly can. Be at 4 next turn. If any of these take damage, then we can get some card draw with our Rapunzel. And if not, I think we'll get out another bodyguard and our Stitch. Yeah, so we're gonna ink the Rapunzel. We don't need her. I don't want to. We could ink the Captain Hook, but instead, we're just gonna get all these characters out here. And of course, it's dangerous to get all of your characters out at once, but they're not really playing with any removal. So I think the risk to us is low. So if they don't take out any of our characters on the next turn, we'll be questing for 7, and we'll be at 15. We're in a pretty good spot. We can also shift our Captain Hook. Just give him a little bit of extra protection. Alternatively, if we have enough ink, we can just play him separately and have another character on the board. I was just about to say, really, the only danger to us at this point is if they get a Mother Gothel out here and we can't quest. But we have enough characters that we can take her out pretty easily. I don't think it'll be a huge deal, even if we can't quest with her. So we'll shift our Captain Hook, and we're just going to quest everyone. Then I do think we're actually going to ink this Rapunzel just so we have an extra ink in there for next turn if we need it. So even if they quest with the Mother Gothel, which I assume they will, we're going to have to take her out, of course. We will be able to do most of the damage with Captain Hook unless they return to our hand right now. Yep, that is probably what I would have done. So now we'll have to use... we'll lose both of our bodyguards attacking her. And another character, probably. So to see if we draw a card that we can use to avoid that. And we did not, so let's get the Captain Hook out here. Let's get us another bodyguard, because we're going to sacrifice our other bodyguards. So use that one. And she needs 3 more damage. We'll sacrifice this bodyguard and a Stitch. And it's going to put us at 18. We only need 2. They're going to be up to 19 this next turn. So it's definitely dangerous. All we need is 1 character to survive, and we can win. I think we should be fine. They can't quest the Mother Gothel right now. I don't think there's anything they can play with 1 ink to win this game right now. We have got this. Alright, that was good. I was a little worried there for a second when it was 19 to 18, but managed to pull it off at the end. Okay, 4th match of the video. Let's see if this one will push us over the edge to Bronze 2. Really hope we don't lose this one and have to play another couple of matches. We might just end it here no matter what happens in this. Let's see how good this match is. Okay, we're gonna mulligan the big Tinkerbell. Both of the big Tinkerbells. We don't need Fire the Cannons right now. I want to keep the Stitch just so we can maybe have him to shift. Oh, not a great opening hand, though. We don't have a lot of cards we can ink. So we'll ink the Captain Hook, even though we have the shiftable one here. Let's play a Stitch. Next turn, I think we're going to have to get out the Lantern. That will make it cheaper to shift Stitch, though, so we'll be able to shift Stitch on turn 3, hopefully. Yeah, we're not getting a lot of inkables. I'm not feeling great about this, but it is what we're going to have to do. Play the Lantern. And I don't want to quest with Stitch right now, just in case they have something that can do 2 damage to him when he's exerted. You know, bring out a support character or something for Pascal. And, okay, mini, so they don't really have any removal in this deck. That's good for us. Okay, I really don't want to ink the Rapunzel, of course, but I think we have to. And we're going to shift Big Stitch onto Little Stitch. And we will quest him for 3. Now, of course, same risks apply here. They can take out Big Stitch. We don't want that to happen, but we at least got 3 lore off of him if he does get taken out. And so now they can use Minnie and Mickey to take out Stitch. A little more dangerous for us. Not sure if we want to do it. So let's... I think we're going to ink Tinkerbell. And we'll play one of our Captain Hooks. And let's hold off on questing this turn. Might have been a mistake. But there's no way to know until we know. Hopefully they'll quest someone. We can use the Captain Hook to take out either Minnie or Mickey. We got the evasive characters out here. We can't deal with that too well. So I'm not too happy about that. Yeah, let's get the LeFou out here. So we're questing for another 2. And of course we can get the card draw, which means we can get Simba out and Bodyguard, and now I'm feeling a whole lot better. And of course we made the same mistake of exerting him as a Bodyguard and not getting Stitch's card draw, but it's okay. Have to remember not to put him out as Bodyguard when Big Stitch is here, because Stitch can just exert him. He'll be in Bodyguard anyway. We got 3 evasives that we can't take out. It's not great for us. But they are each only questing for 1. So as they get more out, obviously they're going to be a bigger threat, but they're not a huge threat right now. And yeah, so I think we're going to ink our big Bodyguard, Mickey. And I want to play Grab Your Sword. Take some of these guys out of here. And they're going to get 3 next turn. We can get 7 if we quest everyone. I really want to take out... Okay, we're just going to leave it. We're going to quest everyone. And they'll probably take out our Bodyguard this turn, because we can get +7 next turn and win the game, so they have to take something out. Or, you know, put something in our inkwell, return it to our hand. They definitely have to do something to stop us. Be great if we could get another Grab Your Sword, just take out all of their characters. But I don't think that's likely. I think there's only 2, maybe 3 of those in this deck. Okay, healing all their characters, that's okay. Let's play this Captain Hook on the next turn, depending on what we draw. Would have been nice if we had the big Tinkerbell, and then they would have all gotten taken out with her 1 damage when she's played. Yep, they did not take out the Simba with that. And they have no ink left. Maybe they realized too late they needed to take him out? Yeah. I'm not sure what that play was, but that will give us the win. And looks like we still need 1 more victory to get us up to 2. Alright, let's see if we can win 1 last game and get us up to bronze 2. Alright, let's see what we got to work with in the opening hand. Looks like we're going to be mulliganing most of these cards. Just costs too much or uninkable, and we do not need uninkables right now, except for maybe the Lantern. So that'll help us get our characters out a little bit faster. And the really good thing about the Lantern is it also reduces the cost of shift on your characters. So you can get the turn 4 Big Stitch questing for 3 lore out on turn 3 potentially, which is a really good thing to have. Let's see, to start with, I think we want to ink, let's ink our 5 cost Bodyguard, because we have the 4 cost in here if we need him. And we will play a Captain Hook. I don't know how many matches I've had that are Lilo on the first turn, I drop Captain Hook, and then they drop their Simba. Of course, sometimes I also see it the opposite. I play the Lilo and they play their Captain Hook. I actually took Lilo out of this deck because I didn't like having the Uninkable, and this deck isn't really about the turn 1 to lore drop. So she really wasn't serving much of a purpose. I did like having her in here. Just, yeah, didn't really need her though. Let's ink one of our bodyguards, I think. And we'll get the lantern out, actually, instead of playing our bodyguard, because we don't need him, because we're actually going to use the Captain's Hook to take out their bodyguard and just trade those two. I don't want them getting a lot of bodyguards out here, and I don't want anything protecting the Lilo right now, so we can take her out really when we want to. Okay, they've also got their own lantern. Guessing they might also have just in time, so they can drop some bigger characters pretty quickly. But we'll see what they're gonna do. Okay, we got another bodyguard. Yeah, I think since we've got these two, let's ink our bigger bodyguard for now. We don't really need him out right now, so let's put out this Tinkerbell for 3. And on the next turn, we could put out one of our other bodyguards to protect her until we can get the big Tinkerbell out here. We could also put out our Musketeer Tabard on the next turn so we can start getting card draw when they take out our bodyguards. There's really no reason to use Fire the Cannons at this point, so we'll just hold on to it until we need it later. Of course, they could potentially be up to 7 on this turn. I don't know if they're going to, because they won't want us to take out the Lilo with the Tinkerbell. Okay, they may be getting ready to play their own big Tinkerbell. It's not a huge deal for us. I think we can take her out pretty easily if they do. But something that we need to be aware of. And yeah, we'll ink this guy, the Captain Hook. And let's use the lantern to get out this bodyguard. And we'll also play this bodyguard. Of course, there's really not much reason to exert them because it's only one lore character that we're using right now. But like I said, I don't want her taken out for when we draw the big Tinkerbell. We can play her for a little cheaper with the shift. So now that they have more characters on the board, we have options for Fire the Cannons. I still don't know if we really want to use it yet, but we definitely could. And it may be a good option so that we can take the Tinkerbell down too and use one of our bodyguards like Hercules to take out the Tinkerbell before they can shift her. Of course, if they shift her on this turn, then that point is moot. Okay, yep, they are going to shift her, it looks like, or they're just going to play her outright. No, they shifted her. And now they can take out one of the bodyguards, which will let her take out the other bodyguard. And then they could take out our other character for free, basically. Well, not so much, because they won't be able to. They could do enough damage, but they would lose both of their characters, and I don't think they would do that. If we can get our own big Tinkerbell on next turn, then we can fire the cannons at this one and take her out. Okay, instead we got a smash, which I'm okay with. We can take her out with that 3. There's not much else we can play right now, so let's go ahead and fire the cannons at the goons. And I think we're going to take out the Lilo. I didn't want to waste a whole turn just taking out their characters, but they're at 10 and we're only at 1, and they're playing pretty much the same deck as us. So it's not, we don't want to let them get too much of an advantage on us. I can play the Donald, use him as a bodyguard, and yeah, next turn we might be able to finally get this out so that we can get card draw when they eventually take him out, but I'm hoping we get some more characters and we can actually start questing for a little bit more. Inking their big Stitch, I'm okay with that. I wonder what this last card they have in their hand is. I feel like they might be getting ready to play Grab Your Sword. Yep, there it is. Saw that coming because it does 2 damage to everyone, and that would be just enough to take them out. Okay, we can't play the big Tinkerbell because they just took out our little Tinkerbell, but we can at least get this out. Wish we had had it out a turn earlier so we could have gotten the card draw from them taking out the bodyguard. The game is definitely in their favor right now because they have higher lore and the board is wiped. We each only have one card, so if they can get some characters out, they can pretty easily win this thing, and we have a lot of catching up to do. I'm not sure we can come from this far behind. The only thing we have going for us is they don't have a lot of cards. Okay, they didn't want to play whatever they have in their hand right now. I think we're actually going to play the Lilo. Just hold our Tinkerbell in reserve for now until we have the ink to use her. Since she gives us 2, there's nothing she can wipe out on the board, so we don't really need to put her out there right now. But we can still be questing for 2 with this Lilo. Of course, they can very easily take her out with Fire the Cannon, Smash, or Grab Your Sword. She only has 2 willpower. Okay, now this is kind of dangerous for us because they can quest for a lot here, so we are going to get our big Tinkerbell out now. So as soon as they quest the Stitch, we can take him out with the Tinkerbell. They'll still have the 3 lore. We can't do anything about that, but we can at least take him out quickly. Unless, of course, they take out our Tinkerbell. We can also take him out with the Lilo, but if they use something to take out the Tinkerbell, there's a good chance they'll use Grab Your Sword and it'll take out the Lilo as well. But I think they know they're in a dangerous position right now with only the 1 character, and both of our characters can take him out. I think they may be looking for Grab Your Sword so they can wipe out our characters pretty easily. Do they have anything else they can do this turn? Alright. Yeah, they're getting ready to go. Okay. This was a very fortunate draw for us, obviously, letting us heal the Tinkerbell. If we didn't have that, we would have lost her when we took out the Stitch. As it is, very, very lucky for us. So now we can use the Tinkerbell, take out the Stitch, and we will deal the 2 damage to the Ariel, and we'll finish that off with Fire the Cannons. Kind of a waste of the card, but they're already really far ahead of us. I don't want them getting any further ahead of us. And we'll get this Stitch out there. Quest for 2. Dangerous board right now. They can wipe out 3 of our characters with Grab Your Sword, but we need to get an advantage. Alright, we're doing pretty well right now. We have some characters in the discard we could get back, but none that I really want right now to use with Hades. So I think instead I'm going to get out this other Lantern, and let's hold him in reserve for now. They'll probably use the Simba to take out the Tinkerbell, but that's okay because we're even now, and that will also take out their Simba, and then we'll be able to get another 5 and put us up to 18. One of the things I like about this game is, how quickly it can turn in favor of your opponent, because obviously we could have very easily lost this game. They were so far ahead of us, but then with the Grab Your Sword and wiped everything, we wiped their stuff, and now it's much, much more in our favor. I'm not sure why they did anything they just did. I think they made a mistake not taking out one of our characters and they realized it too late. But you know what? That victory put us up to bronze 2, and I think we'll call it good for that video. Thanks everyone for watching so much and supporting the series and the channel. Don't forget to like, leave a comment, tell me what you thought about all the matches, what you think about this deck, and of course, as always, subscribe.